like our subject today is because interest requires zero accountability.
Right.
Commitment requires accountability. Interest gives you a false sense of progress, keeps people in the almost zone.
Right.
This isn't almost a podcast. This is a podcast. And we are committed to helping you grow. Give us subjects that would move the needle for you. We will research them and we will deliver those subjects to you. If there is something that's holding you back, a loop that you're stuck in, we'd love to have a subject that we don't have to come up with that might help you.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. If you're watching this or listening to this or doing both, if this is your first time here, you have just found the best damn podcast that you've ever seen, heard, or both in your whole life. If this is your first time here, we are known as Old Guys Still Rock, better yet, GSR. I am Blair Armstrong of Team Armstrong Coldwell Banker. I'm a global luxury specialist in the world of residential real estate located out here in the beautiful, beautiful Coachella Valley. If you don't know where the Coachella Valley is, just think of Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Indio, La Quinta, Rancho Mirage. Somehow, some way, you should have heard of that. If you haven't, find a map, find Palm Springs, go all the way east to Indio, and that is basically the Coachella Valley. And on my left, actually, he's probably going to come up in the center, but on my left, possibly your right, is a good friend of mine and the other host of the show, Brent Wright of Brent Wright Incorporated. Man with many different hats. The reason why I give this long laundry list of stuff, I'm very fired up today, just to let you know, is because we actually have another, I believe we're on episode number 152 today. We have 151 other episodes. I'm going to get a little bit deeper into that, why we're doing this. But a man with many different hats, from payroll companies to body shops to detail shops, financier of Wright Wellness Center, where his wife is the boss. Yes, I said it. He's a financier, but she's the boss, making incredible things in the health industry. So if you're in the Eugene, Springfield area and you're looking for a new way of not only working out, but a lifestyle, maybe you need some body repair issues or you're having some stuff that you're stuck with, check it out. Wright Wellness Center. I would definitely go in there and at least get a consultation. Let them know what's going on with your world, with your body. I'm 99.9999% sure they're going to be able to find an avenue for you to get healthier or better. And if they don't have it at that time, they'll definitely have a resource for you. But on top of that, multiple property owner. He is part of a venture capitalist group that has bought a company just about a year ago called bustedtees.com. So if you love that novelty t-shirt world like I do, definitely check these guys out. They're just unlimited source of novelty t-shirts. Can actually come up with your own t-shirt. They will put it in production for you and ship it out to you. So before we go too deep in the woods of that, just stop right now, type in Busted Tees, all one word, .com, check them out. And the last but not least, one of the main reasons why we're 152 episodes in today is Brent is an amazing business coach, an amazing personal coach. Again, if you were like, yeah, but I've never heard this guy. He hasn't written a book. He has this okay podcast at the moment, blah, blah, blah. I don't know him from Adam. Well, you can go check him out with 151 episodes, minus the first episode. Besides that, then you can look at all the best ones. So super long introduction today. So before we kind of get into the weeds today, man, how are you? What's going on in the world of Eugene, Oregon?
Good. Everything is rocking and rolling. I've had an interesting week, being that it's a full moon week this week.
That makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people are kind of feeling a little bit off as they, as the Five Finger Death Punch song goes. I'm a little bit off today. So yeah. I'm not personally a little bit off, but a lot of people have been a little bit off. I had an interesting interaction with one of my billionaire clients yesterday. Had to very strategically tell him to pound sand. And I don't want to say put him in his place, but had to educate him on what his positioning needed to be. So that was very growth oriented for me, because we talk about this often. I'm more of a baseball bat kind of a person. And, if everything's a nail, Brent's the hammer. Yesterday, I had to be the finishing hammer. I don't know if you guys know the difference between a regular hammer, a claw hammer, and a finishing hammer. And a finishing hammer is very small, and you take light little taps to drive those nails home. Yesterday was a lot of light little taps, and it was wrought with a lot of lack of emotion. We talked about and had a podcast about emotional maturity. I had to employ all of my tactics yesterday on emotional maturity. So it was very, very interesting. So speaking of which, it kind of feeds right into our podcast title about being interested is a hobby, being committed is a life. Everybody's interested until it gets hard. Like yesterday, for me, yesterday was a difficult day by any measurement. And I felt like it was fruitful, but it was forcibly interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm super, I was telling Brent pre-show about this. It's like, there's just certain things that happen once in a while, and you're trying to how did you come up with this topic today? And today, in my mind, in my soul, and just kind of what's come up to me, I think this is a God-driven comment. There's just a couple of things that have happened, like Brent is talking about right there. I've had crazy last 2-3 weeks, kind of the same thing. And I think the topic is great for the reason is like, are you interested? Like, yeah, I'm kind of interested in, whatever. And it's nonchalant. And if I don't really get in after it, then no harm, no foul. But are you freaking committed?
Yeah.
We look at this, a lot of people will ask us, Brent, and I know you get this, I get a lot of this too, is why don't you guys have sponsors? Why don't you guys have advertisers? Well, my answer to them is this: because we're committed to give you an unfiltered, raw, in your face, life-changing information that we're not being infiltrated or influenced by any means. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and advertise you, but you guys can say this, this, and this, and this. So you fund it, I fund it, and we get this show out. We're also, are we committed? 100%. How many other podcasts? We've talked about this 1,000 times. How many other podcasts have 152 podcasts? Not many.
Yep.
Not many. How many podcasts, again, have gone to that? And again, I'm not calling out. There's some of the guys that haven't done their mission drift. And I've talked about this book before. If you haven't got it, get mission drift. But what we're seeing now is we know that the large media has been, basically,
it's conditioning.
The veil has been lifted. No one trusts the big media. What have they done? They've shifted to the podcast, right? But they're still now they're saying, okay, they're hanging their flag. They're exactly saying what we want to say. Are those guys really your guys? Is that a false flag that you're getting now? Because now that they're still getting paid, they're still getting hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to do this stuff. So that's why I come back to it. Are we the best? No. Are we the worst? Absolutely not. But I just say this: we are going to give you, we're committed to standing beside you or leading if we have to make not only your world better, our world better, but everyone around us better. So us being committed for 152 episodes says a lot. So when you brought this topic up today, I'm like, yeah, let's go. We want most of you guys. We're gaining followers every week. We're gaining responses every week. But this is going to be a little call to action for me. I'm sure Brent's going to come up with some amazing stuff today. We need you to get this information out. We need you to understand that we are not being paid or told by anybody what's going on. We make some mistakes, probably, but we'll learn from them, and you can learn from us, and we'll learn from you. And we're going to go ahead. It's time that we come together and stop following these guys who are getting paid around.
Well, this goes to our motto: go make a damn difference.
Right.
Whatever you do. So we're doing this podcast. This isn't a hobby to us.
Right.
Most podcasts are a hobby. I know another gentleman, one of my business partners, that says, I'm going to start a podcast. This was 3 years ago. He's done 3 episodes
Yeah.
in 3 years. 3 episodes. That's not a podcast. That's a hobby. That's something where he can go on and vent or do an interview or something. Those have been his content. It's he's not trying to get a message out. We're trying to get a message out. Again, guys, we're not right, we're not left. We are center, and center is to do something that makes a difference and to try to do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And when we talk about commitment, that's where your life actually changes. Our lives have changed because of this commitment. Huge benefit. Our relationships with our wives, we've had them on, has changed because of this commitment. If we'd have just played around with this and done this as a hobby, I don't think this would have been as impacting to either one of us, our wives, our families. We've had your son on. We've had my son on. We've had Kate, Edna, pick somebody, Joe Daniels. I guarantee you that Joe would tell you that this has impacted his day and many days since.
Yeah, and I said that to her again. I really want people. And so my question to you guys, even though this is your first time or this is your 152nd time watching this today, are you committed to riding with us to making things better? Well, I'm interested in the topic. Okay, that's great. Are you committed to make those changes to go ahead and enhance that topic?
Are you actually going to do something about it?
You're going to do something about it. Have you followed us? Have you shared us? Have you liked our post? Have you left a comment? I'm not asking that I'm asking you to do this for the reason of it's like Brenton and I and the rest of the guys that have subscribed to us and the rest of the people that have followed us. We are building a community that we're done waiting for the white horse coming on. We're committed every week. Have we missed a week? Never missed a week. Have we changed days once in a while? Maybe, because of schedules, different thing. But we've never missed a week for 152 weeks.
And I've traveled for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Aggressively traveled and not missed a day. And that's where
on vacation for 2 weeks in Hawaii for the past 3.5 years, right?
Well, that's where this goes. Like our subject today is because interest requires zero accountability.
Right.
Commitment requires accountability. Interest gives you a false sense of progress, keeps people in the almost zone. Right. This isn't almost a podcast. This is a podcast. And we are committed to helping you grow. So the last call out I'm going to give before we move on is give us subjects that would move the needle for you. We will research them and we will deliver those subjects to you. If there is something that's holding you back, a loop that you're stuck in, reach out to us, throw us a comment, give us a subject. We'd love to have a subject that we don't have to come up with that might help you, that might help you.
We hear about it all the time, right? The water cooler talk, the stuff that we have where we're hanging out with our friends, we hear those different things to it. And I think, maybe for us, you and I, Brent, is just like, why do you feel that way? What would you say if you had a forum to speak to, and how would you put it together? And then we can take that and run with it. So yeah, we will be, we will be on the front lines. You can put us on the post, you can light us on fire, but we're going to talk about it and we'll have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity. I'm incredibly grateful for this platform. As we said, for again, the guys the first time here, this all started by 45-minute conversations on 75 hard. We're doing our final workout of the day and we're chopping stuff off. And, another thing that I just listened to yesterday, there's a podcast with Christian a couple weeks ago. And this really stuck home to him. Is like, he thought about, well, should I start a business? Yeah, I'm kind of, I know I'm an electrician and I'm interested in doing that. And now what he's doing is he's committed. He's committed to making his guys better than him. You're committed to making your people better than you, no matter what it is. Your venture capitalist group, you're a bunch of alphas, but you're committed to each other, to make each other better, to make business better, to make the experience better. I'm in real estate. I am committed 100% to make your dreams a reality. It may not be a fun ride sometimes, but at the end of the day, we're going to be happy. We're going to hug each other. We're going to shake hands. I just went through it for the last 3 weeks. It has been a freaking battle. I've got 2 people that One wants to sell, one wants to buy, and trying to get them together.
Mm-hmm.
And the unfortunate thing is I'm on both sides. So I have to listen to the buyer, I have to listen to the seller, and they both have valid points. And all I'm trying to think is we're fighting about this much. We're fighting about this little topic. I know that you're right in your mind, and I know that they're right in their mind. But what is it going to change in the area? So the reason why is that? What does that make you committed? Because these guys picked me to help each other get across the finish line. And if I was just interested in real estate, I mean, you know what? Just whatever.
You're going to love this. This is commitment versus interest. I know a real estate agent who I would tell you that they're interested, that they're not committed. And here's why. They don't have a smartphone. They don't keep their phone on them, and they don't answer phone calls in a timely fashion. Like, I can call this person or text them, and a week later they might respond. That to me shows an interest. They had interest enough to get their license, but are they committed to actually doing the job? Could you do your job without a smartphone?
Dude, no.
Would you have any listings if it took a week for you to get back to them?
No.
Yeah.
And our commitment, this is not about me. I'm just hoping what I'm telling you is going to stay. I'm going to use myself as an example, but this is not self-inflating type of comments. So we are on the verge of bringing on 2 new team members. And I'm, you and I talked about this probably almost a year and a half ago, 2 years, actually, when we started to talk about, getting to 25 million.
Mm-hmm.
I ripped a hole in the universe at that time. And we're about a year and a half into that. We're almost 2 years into that. Still haven't hit that mark yet. But I knew what it took to get into that. So we always talked about ripped a hole in the universe. That gap is starting to be filled.
Mm-hmm.
And it took commitment. I am scared out of my mind, but I am stoked out of my mind at the same time. We have signed a contract with one team member. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen her, Giovanni Healy. She is our operations coordinator at this time, but she will be transitioning to a real estate mode. We just had a great interview with another gentleman that realizes that everything that was promised him into this last job is not there. We laid out a problem with him. We looked over our compensation plan. We told him exactly what is going to need to be done. So he'll probably be joining us, I would guess, probably realistically around August or September, if not sooner. It's depending on how fast he can get his license. The point of it is every single speech, I'll call it a speech, but every time that I'm talking to him at the end, it is, I know that you're committed to me when I'm talking to these people. You're committed to me, and you're going to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. To me, at the end of the day, I love that you say that, and I need you to be that way, and I need you to live that other day. But my commitment, and I've said this, I think I even said this last week, my commitment to you is you to be better than me.
And to hold you accountable to it.
And hold you accountable to it. I'm going to stay awake at night and try to figure out how am I going to get you from point A to point B to point C to point D and never end. I'm going to get you to a point that not only you're better than me, that someday that you're going to be so busy that you're going to have to get your own assistant. So that is not, and I see a lot of these guys, realtors are kind of like insurance agents right now. I have been both. So I'll call you out. It is this little interest. Well, that sounds cool. I can kind of make a little bit of money here and do that. Are you committed? Are you committed to changing people's lives? Are you committed to changing people's lives that are your clients? Are you committed to growing a team and helping each other out? And it's the same thing with you, Brent. I mean, it's the same thing. You're the financier of Right Wellness Center. You're committed not only to the Right Wellness Center, but you're committed along with your wife to help have people find a healthier lifestyle. Do you have to do that?
Nope.
Does your wife need you? Certain situations, no. You can just say, I'll throw some money at it, just do this. But that's why I just feel like, everyone's looking for this thing too. It's like, stop being interested in stuff. If you're interested in politics, go join the city council. Go get in Giovanna, our person that we just brought in from Italy, full-blood Sicilian. So I have to watch out because she might cut my throat. But the point of it is she was seeing stuff and she goes, I can't sit here anymore and
just
bang on the
watch.
drum and just watch. So here I am. I've got my citizenship in America. I want to go ahead and I'm making a difference. So I go and campaign. We're going to have her on one night. Her story is phenomenal, by the way. I'm going to go down and I'm going to campaign, and I'm going to go and get all these people that have been around the desert for 30 years, and I'm going to win. And now I'm a board member for Parks and Recs for Palm Desert.
Mm-hmm.
Committed. That was probably the highlight of why I reason. Like if you can go that hard and go through that stuff and have people basically, lift up every single cover and look at your life and knowing that there may be some things to be exposed or be critiqued on, that's commitment.
Yeah. So let's define the difference between committed and interested. Interested talks about it. Committed does it daily. And this could fit, guys. These steps could fit into anything, into your health and wellness journey, into a new business venture, into something as simple as what you're doing for your family. It doesn't matter what it is. These tools can be applied. So interested, you talk about it. Committed, you do it daily. Interested, fits it in, maybe. Committed, builds life around it. Interested, quit when it's hard. Committed, leans in when it's hard. Interested, needs motivation. Committed, operates on discipline. This is where most people get stuck. It's the comfort versus calling discussion. Fear of failure, judgment, and exposure are things that hold you back in this. So 75 hard was a prime example. There are so many people that want to do 75 easy or 75 maybe or 75 I'll think about it. Very few people do 75 hard. That's where this whole podcast came from, was we were doing something extremely difficult for a committed time period, and we were holding each other accountable when it got hard. I don't know about you, but like day 51 to 54, killers.
Well, the whole Live Hard program, the 75 hard is hard in itself, but go ahead and for 6 months of your life with a couple 30-day breaks. You're like, there's points in time like, why the F am I doing this?
Right.
What am I going to gain on it? Because we can't see that far in the future, the ripple effect that's going to have. And you're grinding and you're getting, it's like, I want to have a piece of cake. I want to have a cocktail if you're a drinker type of thing. But there's certain things to do it. I think you're absolutely right. And I think, people will call 75 hard a fitness program. It is. Once you go through it, you realize it has nothing to do with fitness.
It's a life-changing program.
You may agree or you may disagree at times with Andy Frisella. And I think that if you said that to his face, he goes, good, that's what I want you to do. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day I created a program that you can't deny. It won't change your life. It won't. It is absolutely will change your life. And people like, I don't get it. Well, then freaking do it. Do it. And then come back to me and say your life hasn't been changed. And but see, that's the thing, because it's a self-accountability thing, right? 75 hard, you could tell everybody that you did it. Mm-hmm. In the bottom of your mind, are you fully committed to it? So
the first time I did 75 hard, I was on a trip. It's difficult to do on a trip.
Yep.
I stuck to my water. I stuck to my food. I stuck to everything. And it was 10:30 when we got to the Bay Area. And I was like, I got to do my second workout. I've been on the road all day, 12, 14 hours. I got to do my second workout. I was like, I got a mile in and I was like, maybe this is enough. I was in a neighborhood that I didn't know. I didn't know where to go. I was using a map. So I turned around. I was like, well, it's a mile back. That should be enough time. And I'm hiking up and down. Have you ever been to the Bay Area hills? Oh, yeah, right? And so I'm hiking up and down these hills, and I get to the front door of where I'm staying. And I'm 43 minutes in. And I'm like, crap. And it's like 11:49 at this point. I'm like, I got 2 minutes. I got 11 minutes to kill it. What do I do? Do I just walk in the door and call it a done night? Or do I do the other 2 minutes? So I hiked back down the hill, hiked back up the hill, I was right, almost at my 2-minute mark. And I was like, nope, I got 37 seconds left. And to that point, like, it is self accountability to 2 minutes, to 37 seconds, to all those things. And the worst feeling that I had was my wife's going to ask me how my workout was tomorrow. And am I going to say that I did it? Or am I going to say that I failed? Or am I going to lie to myself and lie to my wife and say, I did it? But in my head, that 37 seconds made all the difference in the world. That's what we're talking about, guys. It's not major commitments. It's not, which we'll go into some major commitments in a minute, but it's minor things that can hold you back from the real win. 37 seconds.
Seems so easy, right?
Was I going to be a liar over 37 seconds, right?
Seems so easy to say, yeah, it's 37 seconds. And maybe, maybe that walk from the elevator to the front door, I mean, that could have really been my 37 seconds. And you start getting down that road to justify it. And it's just because of an interest.
Right. It's just justification. So,
yeah,
I talk about this all the time with people, and this is part of our notes, but everybody wants to start a business. It'll be fun, they said. I'll make a lot of money, they said. It won't be hard, they said. What do you tell yourself when you're at your 12th hour of the day and you still have hours to go? Last night was a prime example. I had business commitments, I had family commitments, and then I had additional business commitments to prep for today. My wife knows that I'm committed to what she needed done for the family, prepping for my daughter's birthday. She's going to be 12, by the way, tomorrow.
Way to go, Emma.
Right?
Happy birthday, babe.
Yeah. And there are some things that had to be done. I had business stuff to do. I could have shirked my commitments to the family and just done business. I could have shirked my commitments to the business and just done family and justified it easily, but I had to do both. There was no option. My commitment level is high to both things because without one, the other suffers. Without the other, one suffers. And so I did it. I got done last night at about 9:12. I got everything done. I was prepped and ready. I was excited for this morning. I had everything ready to rock and roll. Most people won't go until 9:12 at night. 5:01, looking at their watch. Time to peace out. My business day is over. Can you handle rejection? Because that's hard when starting a business. How many rejection calls did you have to deal with to try to get listings for the first year?
Oh, dude.
Hundreds.
I still go through it right now, and it drives me insane.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you lose out to people that you know that your caliber is better, but they haven't peeled back the onion enough, and you lose out on them. And like, it's you become numb to it, and you just keep moving on. But it's brutal.
What about payroll? Financial pressure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Payroll, when you look at your bank account and there's $2,000 in there and you have $28,000 worth of payroll due in 5 days, what do? Do you give up? Right? You're locked in. What do? You find it. You figure it out.
Yeah, it remind me. You ever watch that show? And I know that there's a lot of fabricated lines in there. You ever watch that show, Bar Rescue?
Oh, yes. 100%.
Okay. These guys just, they know that their business is failing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they write a letter, supposedly they write a letter to
John Taffer.
John Taffer, and save my business. How there at some
what
point,
have you done to save your business?
What have you done to save your business? It goes back to you. Oh man, I've always wanted to be a bar. It would be so cool. I'm so interested in doing this, and open the bar, and then all of a sudden your friends start showing up and doing all this stuff, and it turns into a big party. You treat it as an interest because you always thought it would be fun. I'm interested in that. Or did you treat it as a commitment that I'm going to go ahead and give them an experience?
Yeah.
We're having a certain situation with the place that I'm dealing with right now that, and I'm going to be super vague on this because I don't need to be throwing stuff underneath the bus, but it's a real life situation that there are standards that have failed, and there's a lot of rhetoric. You ask people, hey, we need you to be a part of this because we need to get the train back on the tracks. It's not far off the tracks, but the longer we let this go, the worse it's going to become. And everything.
Well, it's the 1 inch theory, right?
Right.
So 1 inch of trajectory on an airplane, we talked about this before, they will miss their landing by 10 miles.
Yeah.
Everything in life is about that 1 degree.
So when you go into 100%, so when you go into this and like, okay, we need to get this done. Like, no, I hear this. Well, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. Absolutely. So let's get you onto this committee. Let's get you onto this. No. I don't have time for that. Then why are you complaining about it?
Right.
You're obviously not committed to your idea. You're interested to see if that would happen. Mm-hmm. You want someone else to pull the trigger. So maybe in a roundabout way, which we started at this podcast is, if that's the situation, why don't you pull us aboard and let us lead the way and help you out to get that done? But we can't go ahead and, take you, we could ride the horse for you while you're pulling your buggy to kind of get you to that point. But sooner or later, you got to be committed.
Mm-hmm.
You're being influenced by this, which we talked about, a lot of different things. You're being influenced by these guys you think that are, hey, I'm pro Magna. Are they really?
Yeah.
Or are they just some guys that are getting paid to say pro Magna and they say things, and since they say them and they have their MAGA shirt on, or they have I love Joe Biden. I don't care. I mean, I can use both sides on this. So pro Magna, pro Democrat, don't give a shit at the end of the day. The problem is you can get your guys to wear your flag, and then they can say things. And since they're such a big influencer, you think that they're really for you. You're interested in that. So let's go ahead and say, okay, you know what? Maybe they have some things to say they're right. What are you doing to be committed to actually take what they're saying work? Are you just going to let them go ahead and influence you through whatever they want to influence you through? The point I'm trying to make is we come to a point in America, and I know you hear this a lot. You can hear it on podcasts, you can hear it on the news, you can hear it in self-talk. When are you, and if when you're just pointing back at Brent and I, when are you going to get committed to actually be the change that you seek? When are you going to do what Brent says after every week? When are you going to make the damn difference? Because you do have it. You may have got your ass kicked somewhere along the lines. It's just like, I tried that. I can't do it anymore. That's what they want you to believe. We want you to believe, Brent and I, Old Guys Still Rock, all of our subscribers, all of our followers want you to believe you can do it. Get committed with us. If it's with your relationship, get committed to that relationship. Is your marriage failing? Get recommitted to it. Is your business getting its ass kicked right now? Get recommitted to it.
Yeah.
Do you need help doing it? Call Brent. Call me. We're going to hunt. We probably, between Brent and I, we probably have over 500 people that we could appoint you to if it's not us.
To this point, I have about 300 or 400 people a year reach out to me for coaching, and I send them the intake form. Do you know how many people out of that 300 or 400 fill out the first step to coaching?
I bet you'd be about 1%.
2 people.
Yeah.
2 people on average fill it out of 300 or 400.
So let's stay there for a second. Maybe I was trying to go down that path. What happened to them? Maybe you know this, maybe you don't know this, maybe you have a theory behind it. I don't know. But what happened to them that they just don't believe enough in themselves anymore that they can't commit to themselves? What do you think happened to them?
They failed and they're scared. Fear is driving their decisions. Lack of commitment is based upon fear. What if I don't do it well? What if I can't show up every Tuesday at 6 a.m.? So most of my coaching calls are early or late, depending upon, and the purpose for that is a commitment level. The people that say I want coaching at 11 o'clock, not my people. At 11 o'clock, you're in the middle of your workday. You're not going to be focused on making a difference for you, making a difference for your business, making a difference for your family. At 11 o'clock, you should be in the middle of your business and committed to that. If you're not willing to do the extra and get up and do it. When I tell people that coaching starts as early as 6 a.m., whoa, I don't know if I can get up that early. What do you mean get up that early?
I'm having breakfast. I'm having lunch.
You should have already been prepped for your day. If your business opens at 8, you should already have been prepped for your day by 6. And it's a big whoa. I mean, I'm being a little facetious, but that is literally on the calls what I get.
People ask me all the time, what time do you I go work out in the mornings? What time do you get up? I'm like, the turn alarm clock goes off about 3:45. Mm-hmm. Like, you get up that early? Oh, may not get up at 3:45 exactly, but we're probably, maybe just kind of
3:47.
Talk to God for a little bit, and get up. I roll out of bed 4:15 down to go ahead and do my daily devotionals, do some journaling, and then I head to the gym. What time do you get to the gym? Typically between 5 and 5:30. How do you do that? Because I'm committed. And I jokingly say this now, but there's a lot of truth to it. I said, if I don't get to the gym and it's been 2 or 3 days, better start getting your bail money ready, because I might go to prison, because my brain is just, and it's
felonies over feelings.
Yeah. I blame this a little bit on you for a little bit, and I love you every minute for it, because you understand that your bandwidth keeps expanding. And if you let your bandwidth start shrinking, how are you going to help others get better? There's a time, and you and I have been friends for 30 years, and there's a time that I didn't give a shit. It's like, I'm just going to run an insurance company, and then I'm just, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to go out, and we're going to go down to good times, and we're going to have a good time. And that's what it was, right? And it was an interest. It was a way to pay bills. It was a way just to kind of get by. You start realizing this stuff. It's like, I'm not committed to this. I want to read you this. I want you to read you this real quick, dude.
Go ahead.
I have to, because I got this yesterday, and it's one of those things that it's one of those things that you don't think anybody's watching, right? And it says, okay, here we go. I want you to know how proud and awe of you I am. You took a real estate license, turned it into a career and a passion that is amazing to watch. Your care for your clients is precious, and even though it can be beyond frustrating, you handle it with grace, compassion, and love. God is working beautifully through you. Have a great day. So when you're grinding and you're like causing the burning down the bridge effect, like, I don't want to do this anymore. We probably have those instances 2 or 3 times a day, but you know that you're committed. Those are the things that, like, I'm doing it.
Yep.
I'm doing it. And that's the hard part. And I think that's you and I in so many different ways. And we're going to keep going on this too, because I really want to drive this home, guys. If you're just struggling right now, just get recommitted, knowing that it's just one more step, the power one more. Go get the book, Ed Milet's The Power One More. There's so much to be of a commitment. Do 75 hard. There's just so many different things. Call us. Tell us where you're stuck. Tell us why I'm scared to death out of my mind. I don't know if I could commit to it. Why? Let's peel back the onion. It's like, we're not going to tell you to do. We're going to find out what you want to do. But the point I'm trying to make is, when you don't think anybody else is watching, they're watching.
Yeah.
And you may not hear it. You may not feel it, but commit every day. Look in the mirror. I'm a little bit more passionate I'm more passionate on here than Brent is. He's a lot better in this. Look in the mirror every day and go, I'm going to be effing great today.
Well, yeah. Stop consuming stuff.
Yeah.
We just gave you a bunch of resources, but those resources aren't going to do it for you. You need
that is 100% true.
To stop consuming the resources and start being a resource. Be a resource for yourself. Be a resource for your community. Be a resource for your family. Be a resource for anybody that you interact with. Do you know the difference that it makes in somebody's life when they are bringing you your food at a restaurant and you stop them and when they say, is there anything else I can do for you? You know what you can do for me? You can smile. You can smile. It really takes them aback. They stop for a second and then they actually do smile. Because you can't have a hard day when you're smiling, guys. Make somebody smile. And here's the cost of staying interested instead of staying committed. And you can probably atone to this situation. Wasted years, missed potential, quiet regret, watching other people live the life that you talk about. Because the most dangerous place in life is being interested for too long. When I was living in my truck, homeless, I was interested in fixing that, but it took me 8 months to get committed. And once I had the commitment that I was going to move out of that truck within a week, I got a little message, and the message said, start a home watching business for people that are out of town, and then you'll never be homeless. So I did just that. But it got to the point where I had to be so far down the rabbit hole that I had no options but action.
Taking away all the rainbows and butterflies and blah, blah, blah. Is it dark where commitment lies?
It is dark. And it's not comfortable. It's cold.
Is it worth it?
Every single day. Every single day.
And one last thing you said, Satu. How often you talk about standards changing in the right way, not flying from one to the next? How important is it for, maybe you say this, how important is it for your commitments to be enhanced? Meaning you're committed, but once you hit that commitment, what's next?
Well, we talked about this with your goal, right? Be so audacious with your goals and then be audacious with your commitments to those goals.
Which is, we talked about this, I'll bring this back up to it. Talked about this earlier today, is I still have the goal of 25 million. I haven't hit it yet. I've had to recommit to some things that I didn't want to recommit to.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to change some things that I didn't want to go down that path. It's chasing that elusive championship. If you're into sports, you may get close to this. You may get to the playoffs, and you may get to the quarterfinals, you may get to the semis, but you lost in the semis in game 7 and you didn't get to the championship. And it may take you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know. It could take forever. You may never see that. That's one thing I think that's one thing is you may never see that championship that you want.
Well, it goes back to the tree analogy.
Right?
Plant a tree regardless if you will ever sit under the shade of it. And we've had that podcast.
But are you committed to planting that tree? Are you committed to winning that championship? Are you committed to be in the darkness by yourself, fighting and realizing, is this really worth it? Are you committed when you feel that there's no options left to save your marriage, to save your relationship? Are you committed to finding a way? You're doing things that you don't think that you should do because somebody else should do them for you. Are you committed? And that's a whole popitude. I just think our society has become too easy.
Yeah.
It's just the same way for me, guys. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling myself out in so many different ways. And these are the type of podcasts that reignite our commitment, Brent's commitment, my commitment, our subscribers' commitment, our followers' commitment. These are the type of podcasts that are reunited. Think about it. What commitment have you let go of? What have you said, I'll get to it tomorrow?
That's too hard.
It's too hard. I don't know if I'll ever see that. I got guys in my team. I didn't tell you what you need to do. Commit to it 1, 2, or 3 times. Yeah, I know. I just kind of let go of it.
What about the 10th time? What about the 100th time? What about the 500th time?
No, there's just so many things you could apply this topic to. The point of it is, whatever it is bothering you, if you need some help, if you're stuck in a loop, call Brent, call me, get us in touch with somebody. If we can't help you, whatever it is, we'll find somebody to do it. But recommit right now. Look at yourself. Just press pause, look up yourself, hold up your phone, take a selfie of yourself, and then look at yourself and say, I'm freaking committed to you. So this is all we got.
Yep.
This is all we got.
Final words for me, because you're going to ask. You always ask.
This is your spot.
Interest will entertain your life. Commitment will transform it. If you want to transform your life, guys, commit to it. Don't just be interested. One makes you feel good today. The other one builds you're proud of yourself tomorrow. So the question is, are you interested or are you all in? And if this hits with you, act on it today and go make a damn difference.
Guys, we love you so much. Thank you all for support. We are committed to you 1,000%. We are going to do anything possible to make your life better, to make others' lives better. If you haven't done so yet, share the freaking show. Subscribe to our channel. As Brent said at the beginning of this episode, if you have something that needs to be said, let us know what it is, and we'll dissect it for you.
Yeah.
But until we see each other next week, guys, we love you to death. But until we see each other next week, stay safe. But most of all, God bless. Have a great day.